Part 68. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 672. Subai prepared several animal bones and prepared them for a good test. Based on the idea that nothing is difficult in the world, as long as there are people who are willing, I have to make this witch domino no matter what. What's more, the old witch has more or less the process of making witch dominoes in his mind. He only needs to try and make mistakes a few times. It's not possible to directly transfer the domestication skills, but it can be transferred to other materials. Subai looked at the scales of the armored beast in his hand, and continued to mutter to himself, if we fuse each material on the animal bones, maybe it can be done. This is also the method he just thought of. He thought that other witch dominoes are made of materials gathered on an animal bone. Finally, the animal bone is fully soaked with the energy of the material, and the witchcraft is used to seal it. Achieve production. Find some stiffer materials first, Subai thought to himself. He rummaged through a pile of materials with his hands to find some very hard materials. After all, to transfer the innate skills to animal bones, he must choose some with good load-bearing capacity. That's all. Subai looked at the materials in front of him with satisfaction. They are the scales of a hard armored beast, a pair of antlers of a hexagonal deer, the tail vertebrae of a green-eyed lizard, etc. One of the materials was from the ferocious beast that appeared during the eternal night. That is, the ferocious beast that looks like a turtle chose its hard turtle shell. Domestication. After Subai prepared the hard materials, he used the taming skill. Blue light instantly burst out from his palms and slowly flowed out from his fingertips. Following the instructions, it began to adhere to the hard materials. It took a few minutes. Pieces of material were covered with dense threads of blue light, which looked like spider silk. The light emitted by these blue lights was also blue, and in an instant, the environment on the second floor turned into a faint blue. A feeling of relief. Subai took back his innate skills. He inspected the pieces of material that glowed blue and found that there were only slight cracks on them. They were not like the previous piece of animal bone, as long as they were not broken into powder. It may lead to unsatisfactory results, but it's better than unsuccessful, right? The next step is to carve the witch pattern, but how to carve it? Subai was in trouble again. Each witch domino has corresponding witch patterns, and these patterns are also an important part of making the witch dominoes successful. All the prepared materials will flow on these lines, and then slowly be imbued with the hole in a piece of animal bone. So witch marks are indispensable, but how to construct the witch marks of domestication skills? Domestication. Subai thought of this and used the talent skill again. However, this time the talent skill was not used very much. It only used 1/3 of the amount to tame a beast. The reason why he was so cautious was that he was afraid that the beast bone would turn into powder again. Makeup. Snapped. The animal bone still turned into powder, and a pool of white powder lay across the table. Will such a small amount break? Even if these materials are crushed and applied to it, it will still be unsuccessful. Subai frowned and said to himself. Sure enough, making witch dominoes is not an easy task, even if there are many ideas in his mind. Even if he has made many witch dominoes before, it is still very difficult to actually make a brand new witch domino. What if we change the material? Would it be better not to use this animal bone? Subai thought of this and searched for other bones. Although there are no special requirements for the bones needed to make each type of witch dominoes, as long as they are more powerful beast bones. But now we are making new witch dominoes, maybe change some good materials. Subai rummaged through and found several animal bones, all from different ferocious beasts. Tamed. He continued to use his domestication skills, but the result was still a failure, and all the bones turned into powder. The amount I took each time was decreasing, but it still turned into powder. Subai was so helpless that he played with the powder. He thought to himself if there were some hints or previous records. There was nothing, just he could blindly try and make mistakes on his own, and calculate according to the previous production of witch dominoes. Subai kept tapping his index finger on the table, and would not give up so easily. He was always thinking of new ways in his mind. His black eyes turned to a piece in the corner. "Bones," said in surprise, "maybe we can succeed with new ferocious beast bones. There are many bones piled up in the corner. Those bones are from the ferocious beasts that appeared during the eternal night." At that time, I was also thinking about making witch dominoes, so Yanjiao led people to save a lot of them. After cleaning them, they were all sent to Yong'an. "Lu, it's just that the witch dominoes made some time ago were all made from the previous inventory. Naturally, I kind of forgot about these new bones. If I hadn't just turned over the bones when I turned them over, I would have forgotten them. Since your shell is so hard and you are transformed from several ferocious beasts, I hope you can surprise me." Subai weighed the bone in his hand. When all the bones were sent to Yong'an building, they had already been polished into a shape suitable for making witch dominoes. This also saves Subai the trouble of polishing again. "Just prepare the ingredients." He asked the maid to clear the table briefly, and then placed the animal bone in the middle. "Tamed." Subai used the domestication skill again, and this time the amount was 1/3 of the normal amount. The blue light quietly slipped out of his fingers again, turning into several tentacles wrapped around the animal bone. "Wait." When the entanglement reached a certain level, Subai stopped using the domestication skills. He picked up the animal bone, inspected it, and said with satisfaction, "It's exactly what I thought." The animal bone did not turn into powder on the spot, and there were no cracks on both sides. It can be said to be perfect. There is still a faint blue light floating on the entire animal bone, but these blue lights are in the state of spider silk. Attached to bone. Just avoid these lines when engraving. The corners of Subai's mouth raised slightly. He was thinking that these lines were the energy of domestication skills. He only needed to avoid these lines and shave other animal bones into channels. Finally, the materials that had been used for domestication skills were mixed together. Then blend those mixtures into this bone. In this way, a domesticated witch domino can be made. Of course, this is the idea in Subai's mind. Whether it can be successful depends on practice. Who knows whether people are inferior to others? Who knows? Subai picked up a small bone knife and started the detailed carving work, looking extremely serious. Please update for support and customization. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 673. Under the guidance of a special person, Jian and others arrived at the entrance of the big market. Everyone was shocked. They all looked up at the long plaque, but they didn't know what the words on it were. Although the giant bear tribe is also literate, the characters of each tribe are different. How could they know the characters of other tribes? It was strange to see the characters of Yanlong tribe. This is the first time I've seen a font with this shape. It's simple and very endearing. Is this the Yanlong tribe's big market? Kai kept raising his head. The big market was also explained to them by a special person. They no longer said it was a market. From today on, it is called the big market. The big market will always exist, even if it only exists for a short period of time. However, they say that the big market will always exist, but I think it is unrealistic. Luo said suddenly. I also think, how can there be so many things on display for us to change all the time? Li also felt that it wouldn't work. Who knows, just go and have a look, we won't come here every day anyway. Frame waved his hands and said. Tap tap tap. Everyone walked towards the big market and found that there were also many people at the entrance of the big market. However, those people are all totem warriors of the Yanlong tribe. It seems that they are here to maintain order. There are so many soldiers in a place where things are exchanged, it seems that we will steal things. Lan used her venomous tongue again. The girl felt very uncomfortable looking at the soldiers around her, and wondered why her weapons had to be put away. And all the soldiers here were holding weapons, as if they were guarding against something. It feels very uncomfortable. After all, this is someone else's tribe, not to mention that they have such good things, so it's normal to be defensive. Luo rubbed his big belly. Don't talk yet. Let's change the things we want to change first. Who knows what trouble they will cause. Zhang was still very cautious. He also felt very uncomfortable when his weapons were put away at the door. He just wanted to quickly change his things and leave. I don't know how to change the wine here. And how do you change those perfumes? Kai is a little curious. He just hopes that the price will not be as high as outside. If it can be less, then it will be less. Let's go and take a look first. People from other tribes are coming in. I don't know how many there are. The frame is a bit afraid of being replaced by someone else. Yes, since we take the first step, we should change it quickly to avoid having to change it all for them later. Li remembered what happened to the spotted deer tribe. At that time, she just wanted to change some salt, but unfortunately the speed was too slow and all was replaced by other tribes. Look, that thing over there seems to be perfume. Let's go there and have a look. Lan entered the door and saw the stall on the left. In fact, it was not a stall, it was the facade on the first floor. The whole room was used as a shop. Everyone walked towards the store and only saw a sign hanging at the door. The sign, the word perfume is written on it. Of course, they can't understand these two words. From the outside, you can see the wooden shelves in the room with bottles and jars placed on them. These bottles and jars are very interesting. Small, they are all small bottles made of animal bones. Are you changing perfume here? I asked as I walked in the door. Yes, there are perfumes with various scents. Which one do you want to change? The store manager walked out directly. Since the big market has just opened, many tribes don't know about it, so there is only one person in each store. That person is the store manager in charge of business. If more people come to the Yanlong tribe in the future, each store will naturally recruit more people, but there is no need to waste manpower now. How do you change the perfume here? It won't be 10 bags of dried meat again, right? Kai asked nervously. After he asked, his heart kept hanging, and so did everyone else, hoping that the other party would just shake their heads. Have you seen the stall at the door? It costs so much to trade with them, but it doesn't cost much to trade with me. The store manager smiled slightly, stretched out his hand as a sign of 5, and said, you only need 5 bags of dried meat to replace it. None of the perfumes displayed in the perfume store are big bottles, they are all small bottles. The size of each bottle is about the length of the index finger, and the width is about the width of an adult thumb. In short, it is mini, and the perfume inside the maximum amount can only be sprayed about 10 times. This is a bottle specially made by Subai so as not to hold so much perfume. Perfume is a consumable product. If you make a bottle too big, those people will definitely not be able to use it all. It will be difficult to determine the value at that time. If you set it too high, others will not exchange it. If you set it too low, the perfume will look cheap. Simply making the bottle smaller is the best way. 5 bags of dried meat will not be too much. For people from large tribes. 5 bags of dried meat? It's half less than the ones outside, which is acceptable. Zhang thinks this quantity is not bad. They brought dozens of bags of dried meat this time, so they are not afraid of not having to replace it. There are also many other things that can be exchanged. How many bottles do you want to replace? The store manager made a gesture to prepare for packaging. Give us a bottle first, we have to exchange for other things. Zhang thought. It's impossible for him to exchange a lot of this thing at once, and he doesn't know if the people in the tribe will like it. What's more, after replacing this thing, it will be given to the chiefs and witches. They will only exchange it for it if they find it useful. Just exchange for one bottle? Then if you want to change it again in the future, it won't be this amount. The store manager looked regretful. What does this mean? Kai said doubtfully. You have also seen that there are many other tribes outside, not only you, there are also other tribes coming in the next few days. The store manager looked at the perfumes on the shelf and continued, it takes a long time to make perfumes. That's all for now. They will come and change them. You may not have to change them next time. You may not even be able to change them for 7 or 8 bags of dried meat. Then bring us 2 bottles. We also want to exchange wine, china, and other things. John gritted his teeth and said. I just hope that I won't get scolded if I change these things back. These perfumes are really good. They can smell the strong fragrance as soon as they enter the store. This fragrance is really good. They all let it go. They were a little immersed in it, as if they had come to a large garden. Okay, no problem, the liquor store is opposite me. The store manager pointed enthusiastically. He is not in a hurry. There are still many people coming one after another, and many people will come to change. What he said just now is also to stimulate them. Since the perfume was successfully made, so by one after another, people started to arrange to make perfume. Fermentation takes time. Good Frame turned around and looked at the store. Second update, please support and customize. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 674. After the Frame and others finished changing the perfume, they left. The 2 bottles of perfume were packed in a wooden box. The 2 wooden boxes were also simple boxes with a lot of soft hay in them. This will prevent the perfume from breaking due to collision. After all, 1 bottle costs 5 bags of dried meat. They changed into 2 different scents of perfume, one was rose-flavored perfume and the other was lily-flavored perfume. These 2 kinds of flowers are planted in large quantities in the wooden shed, and the 2 kinds of perfumes are also the most abundant. However, these 2 kinds of flowers were not transplanted and planted outside, but continued to be planted inside the wooden shed. The purpose is also to prevent people from other tribes from getting these flowers. The farmland is at the gate of the tribe. As long as they enter the Yanlong tribe, they will see these flowers at the gate. If they don't keep them all, they will steal some of them. Once they are stolen and planted elsewhere, it means they also own roses and lilies. He has just started his farming plan, and he cannot let other tribes have these for the time being. What is only available on the other side of the earth is the difference between the Yanlong tribe and other tribes. Just being put in the box, I can feel how delicious it smells. Lan blew her nose deeply. The girl liked this smell very much. The light fragrance was very fascinating. When she was outside the tribe, she couldn't help herself when she smelled this smell. She began to think secretly in her heart. You must save some dried meat to exchange for a bottle of perfume to go back to. You must also own a bottle. The 2 bottles you are exchanging now must have nothing to do with you. Anyway, all the good things you exchanged belong to the chief and the witch. You must think, yes, they can only store dried meat by themselves. As totem warriors, they will be given a fixed amount of dried meat every day, which depends on their individual appetite. Some people may not have any leftovers if they eat too much. If you don't have enough, there will be a lot left over. But most of the dried meat that has sunk is to survive the rainy season and heavy ice and snow, and few people will exchange it for anything. It smells really good. I don't know what it would feel like if I sprayed it on my body. Lee was also attracted. No girl can resist the temptation of perfume, and she began to think about saving dried meat for exchange. It's pretty good, but after comparison, I prefer the feeling of sweating. Luo patted his big belly. The little fat man's idea must be to eat. Although the perfume is also very good, compared with eating and drinking, the latter is definitely better. He keeps looking at the wine store now. I was also thinking about exchanging wine later. I feel pretty good about perfume. It would be best if I could have it. If I don't have it, there's nothing I can do about it. Kai waved his hand and continued, what I want most now is wine. I don't know how much dried meat it would take to exchange for the wine here. He is a bit torn now. On the one hand, he wants porcelain, and on the other hand, he also wants wine. If the two are similar, he should want both, but it seems unlikely. When he went to change the porcelain, but they used sweet particles, which are good things from the giant bear tribe. Now that the Yanlong tribe has obtained the sweet particles, who knows what they will need to replace the porcelain next time. But he thought again, this is a big market, I will definitely put the porcelain on display for people to change. Wait until I go to the liquor store to have a look, and then go to the porcelain store to see the situation. This time I can only live it up for the eyes. Tap tap tap. Everyone walked to the store where the wine was exchanged, and they smelled the strong aroma of wine as soon as they walked to the door. That smell is a little different from the smell of perfume. This smell is appetizing. It's different from perfume that makes you feel good when you smell it. Both smell good. How do you change the wine here? Zhang asked straight to the point. He didn't want to waste any more time. When he first came in, he looked around. The aisles of the big market were very long, and there must be many stores. We have several kinds of wine, which one do you want to change? The store manager asked. There are as many types of wine on display here as there are previously developed wines, including wheat wine, corn wine, and sour fruit wine. We all want to exchange some of them back, so let's exchange one bucket of each kind. Frame opened his mouth and said. We have 4 kinds of wine here, which require 5 bags of dried meat, 4 bags of dried meat, and 3 bags of dried meat in exchange, the store manager introduced. Subai initially thought that the value of the wine should not be set too high. The wine would definitely need to be promoted a lot. If the value was set too high, no one would be willing to exchange it, or maybe it would be a replacement. There are relatively few people. Wine is different from perfume. Perfume may take a while to wear out, but wine is likely to be consumed within a day. You must not order too high at the beginning, as this kind of goods is consumed quickly. It must be worth slightly less. This seems to require less dried meat than perfume. In that case, give us 2 barrels of each, Zhang said grandly. He thought the price would be high at first. He heard from outside the tribe that 20 bags of dried meat were needed for 1 bucket. This amount really shocked them. Now when I hear that I only need a few bags of dried meat to replace it, I am so happy. The current quantity saves them a lot of dried meat. I am happy that I will definitely need to replace more. Okay, I'll prepare 2 barrels of each for you, but we also need to check the quality of the jerky, the store manager said cautiously. In exchange for so much wine, so much dried meat has to be returned. It must be checked. Who knows whether there will be some moldy dried meat underneath? No problem, you can check it out as you like, but be sure to put our wine in it so it doesn't get exposed, the frame warned. Now he is a little worried about how to transport it back. What if it accidentally breaks during the period? Don't worry, there will definitely be no problem, just be careful when you move back, the store manager told me to go back. Don't wait until the wine is moved out, and finally come back to cause trouble if you break it. Besides wine and perfume, is there anything else worth replacing? Zhang asked curiously. He wanted to pick the key points and change them directly. This would also save a lot of time, and he could get more accurate answers by asking people from the Yanlong tribe. We have a lot of things that are worth replacing. It's up to you to see for yourself, the store manager remained mysterious. Anyway, in his eyes, all the things made by Wu were worth exchange. And he was also promised at that time that if he did a good job, he would also get the corresponding goods. I see, Zhang responded softly. It seems that he can only find a place to rest outside the Yanlong tribe tonight. He originally wanted to leave immediately. Third update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 675. After G and others visited the big market, they all changed a lot of things, and boxes of various sizes were piled up next to them. All of these are exchanged in various stores, including perfume, wine, porcelain, etc. Every time they went to a store, they were shocked, as if they had never seen the world. The big market of Yanlong tribe is really fun to visit. Kai is still immersed in shock. He never expected that the Yanlong tribe would develop so fast. It was obviously not like this when he came last year. At that time, there was only one porcelain and linen. Why are there so many more now? Things. The most important thing is that these things are very good. It has only been a few months. Why are there such good things? It's really different from the last time we came. Luo sighed deeply. The little fat man originally only focused on eating, but he forgot about this after visiting the big market. All his attention was attracted by those goods, which made him dazzled. I wonder if there will be something different next time we come? Lan said curiously. The girl just had a great time shopping in the big market. She always felt that she could stay in every store for a long time. Just move your things and go, make a fire outside and barbecue. Box is a little hungry. Yes, the soldiers said in unison. Just when they were about to pack things, the manager of the linen seller came out enthusiastically. He wiped his hands on his body and asked, "Are you going out?" "Well, we have changed our things and are going out to find a place to rest for the night." Zhang nodded lightly. Because of the weapons incident at the door, his good impression of the Yanlong tribe was gone. Naturally, he didn't want to be polite to the people of the Yanlong tribe, but after shopping around for an afternoon, he found that they were still fine. Plus we were still a little hungry and needed to go out to eat quickly. Roman scratched the back of his head. If that's the case, you don't need to go out, just stay overnight in our tribe. We also have a barbecue restaurant here, the store manager explained enthusiastically. Spend the night in your tribe? So where are we going to sleep? Kai widened his blue eyes. I can't sleep in your room, right? And what is a barbecue restaurant? What Luo is most concerned about is the barbecue restaurant. Of course, they don't live here anymore, but in Anyi building, but we Wu specially asked people to build it. The store manager pointed to the other side of the big market and continued, you can see it if you go straight ahead from here. You can stay there for the night. What about the barbecue restaurant? What about the barbecue restaurant? Luo asked impatiently. The barbecue restaurant is near here, you can see it if you walk a little further, but you may have to queue, the store manager said. I wonder if the place where we stayed overnight also used dried meat as a bargaining chip, Zhang asked. This still needs to be clarified. Everyone knows that there is no free lunch in the world. Of course, the charge is based on the number of rooms you live in, but it doesn't need to be too much, just 2 bags of dried meat per room. The store manager smiled slightly. This is what Shalan arranged for them to say in advance. Those tribesmen came in very late. It was already night after visiting the big market, so they must have gone out to find a place to stay. At this time, we can push forward the Enyi building. It was built in a hurry 2 days ago. It only took about a month. A total of 3 floors were built, which will be higher than other houses. Just according to the previous settings, the first floor is for eating, and the second and third floors are for living. 2 bags of jerky in one room. Do you live in those stone houses? Zhang asked. If you live in one of those stone houses, then 2 bags of dried meat a night is not a loss. On the contrary, you can also experience what it is like to live in a stone house. Of course, those stone houses are not something anyone can live in if they want to, the store manager laughed. Okay, Let's go there. Zhang also wanted to experience the feeling of living in a stone house. Mainly because when he looked around at the Yanlong tribe, he could see tall stone houses everywhere. He came to the Yanlong tribe, and he happened to have the opportunity to experience it. For a moment, it would be a bit unjustifiable not to go, right? That's what he thought. Great, I finally don't have to sleep in the forest tonight. Lan breathed a deep sigh of relief. The girl was annoyed when she thought about going out for hunting, setting up a simple tent, and keeping watch. Even if she didn't have to do it all by herself, the thought of all this was a bit troublesome. Should we go to the barbecue restaurant first? Always fill your stomach. Luo-san said with a smile. Although the little fat man also wants to live in a stone house, food is the most important thing to him. He was originally obsessed with the food of the Yanlong tribe, but now that he heard about the barbecue restaurant, why not try it? Well, let's go eat barbecue first. Frame also agreed. Tap tap tap. Everyone followed the instructions and walked to the door of the barbecue restaurant, but at this time, the door was already lined with many people. These people are all from the Yanlong tribe, and they are the first batch of people from other tribes. There were many people from other tribes shopping in the big market, and they came in a little later. Why still queue? Lan frowned. They thought they could go in and eat as soon as they came over, but they didn't expect they would have to wait at the door. Are they not totem warriors? We are not preparatory soldiers, so why should we be behind them? Luo also didn't understand. The little fat man was a little hungry and wanted to go inside and eat quickly. When he was in the giant bear tribe, their warriors were always the top priority. No matter what they did, it was the same. As long as the warriors came, others would. Everyone has to get out of the way. This is the Yanlong tribe, and we have to follow their rules, Zhang said coldly. Of course he didn't understand this either. After thinking about it, it wasn't that uncomfortable since this was the Yanlong tribe. But isn't every tribe the same? Warriors are given priority. Without us, how would there be a tribe? Lan pouted her mouth with a dissatisfied look. The girl was a little angry, maybe because she was too hungry, and this place is different from the tribe. Just wait a little longer, we should be here soon. Kai said helplessly. He naturally wanted to get in quickly. It must be uncomfortable to queue behind those ordinary people. I think we should give some suggestions to the Flame Dragon tribe. Let us take the lead next time. Lan still feels very uncomfortable. Come on, Lee said coldly. Please update for support and customization. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 676. Yu Ying and others returned to Yong'an building after visiting the big market, with smiles on everyone's faces. When they walked around the big market, they found a lot of differences. The difference here was those people. It was really funny to see the shocked and curious expressions of those people, and the cat-eared girls couldn't help but watch for a while. If it hadn't been for getting late, they wouldn't have thought of going back to eat. Woo, we are back. Yu Ying's crisp voice sounded from outside the door. How about it? Did you enjoy your shopping today? Subai put down the witch dominoes in his hand. While the girls were shopping in the big market today, he was busy making the witch dominoes. Although he has not yet completely succeeded in making them, he has some ideas. He will definitely study more for a while. Can be made. I was very happy to see all the goods placed in the store, Yu Ying said without hesitation. The most important thing is the expressions of those people, it's really funny. Shalan couldn't help covering her mouth and laughed. They were so much fun and everyone was rushing for our goods. Yanhua added. It seems that the response to our goods has been very good, Subai said with satisfaction. This scene is also expected. Who said these things are only available to the Yanlong tribe? Yes, everyone likes our goods and exchanges without hesitation, Yanhua nodded repeatedly. It's all thanks to those people at the door, otherwise they wouldn't be so happy. Shalan said. I have to say, their acting skills are very good. Subai smiled heartily. He had also heard more or less about the acting skills of some of the actors outside the tribe. They were indeed exaggerated. But they did it just right, making those people convinced. Acting? Wu, what is acting? Yuying asked curiously. It means performing well. Subai thought about it. Wow, it seems like a lot of those goods were exchanged at once. Shalan reported. Subai picked up the tea next to the table, shook his head and said, the quantity here is not enough. While he was sitting in Yong'an building, people kept coming to report to him about the goods situation in the big market. Of course, these people were all sent by the cat-eared lady for real-time reporting. That's right, we still have a lot left. Shalan also roughly knows the inventory level. What they are replacing now is little by little, and the quantities are still too small. Subai took a sip of tea and continued. What I want is for them to change in large quantities, so that we can also produce in large quantities. He was dissatisfied when he learned the order quantity. People in a large tribe exchanged 1 barrel for 2 barrels of wine. The same goes for perfume, 1 bottle for 2 bottles. Everything is not much. Look at it this way, I'm a little too petty here. Wu, I'm afraid this is the first time, and they don't dare to change too much. Shalan analyzed. Mao Niang thought that those people came from the spotted deer tribe, and most of the dried meat and other things had been exchanged there. So when they came to the Yanlong tribe, there was no extra dried meat to exchange. Plus this is the first time to replace these things. Next time I will ask them to move a lot back. Subai put down the teacup in his hand. He also knew that he had to take his time. This time it was time to open up the reputation of the Yanlong tribe. But the people from the Green Vine tribe haven't come yet, and they should be able to change a lot when they come. Shalan said softly. The people who came today are all from the Spotted Deer tribe. In addition to the Giant Bear tribe, there are also many people from other tribes. They came directly from the Yanlong tribe, and they must have prepared enough things. Subai said lightly. The people of the Giant Bear tribe are going to eat barbecue now, but I heard some people say that they are muttering. Yanhua suddenly said. What did they say? Subai asked curiously. Yanhua blinked her red eyes and said, why do they have to queue up? It's not that the soldiers should go in directly. The people from the Giant Bear tribe spoke so loudly, and the people lining up in front were all from the Yanlong tribe. These words would naturally reach the ears of the warriors, and they would not allow these people to be rampant. Of course, that is, with once the soldiers said it, ordinary people in the Yanlong tribe did not dare to provoke these people. Let them talk. After all, they haven't done anything extraordinary, so it's hard to say anything. Subai waved his hands. This is what he wants. If they only dare to complain but dare not do anything, this is when the Yanlong tribe has taken the initiative. That's right, the weapons were confiscated, and so many good things were exchanged for them in our tribe. Yanhua nodded repeatedly. If there is a conflict with us at this time, it means that there is no hope of getting out alive. Shalan chuckled. Are they staying in Anyi building tonight? Subai asked. Yes, they don't plan to go out tonight, they all want to experience what it's like to live in a stone house. Shalan said immediately. Subai raised his thick black eyebrows and asked, besides dried meat, what else did they bring in exchange for it today? He wanted to know if after the big market was opened, he could exchange for some useful things. Now he needs dried meat, but after the hunting team has hot air balloons, the efficiency of hunting beasts will be higher. Food transported back to the tribe naturally, there will be more, and the dried meat later will not be so valuable to the Yanlong tribe. The others are some rare animal skins, animal bones, and some strange stones. Shat. Lan thought for a while and continued, but they don't understand very much, so I didn't give them much linen in exchange. No, which dominoes? Subai said curiously. This was what he was curious about. He wanted to see what witchcraft the witches of other tribes knew. This witch domino is very important. No, not even a piece. Shalan shook her head. The cat-eared girl has a very good memory. If she says no, she really doesn't. I thought I could get some witch dominoes, but I didn't expect any. Subai was slightly disappointed. Maybe it will be available tomorrow. Anyway, people from other tribes will be coming in the next 2 days. Shalan said. Cat-eared lady naturally also knows the importance of witch dominoes, and the tribe has indeed saved a lot of dried meat recently. Later, the tribe will gradually not need too much dried meat. Of course, there is no need for other dried meats. The tribe can exchange it for it. Even if it is exchanged, the value will not be too high, because the Yanlong tribe can already satisfy its own dried meat. Well, if there are witch dominoes, bring them to me as soon as possible and see which tribe they belong to. Subai ordered. Yes. Shalan responded immediately. Second update, please support and customize. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 677. At night, Subai and others rested after dinner. They ate noodles in the evening. Wu, what would you like to have for breakfast tomorrow? Yu Ying swung her pink foxtail. There are more foods to eat now, and there are a lot of types of food to make. Every time the fox-eared girl makes something to eat, she will ask. Just watch and do it. I like whatever you do, Subai said gently. Now there are noodles, wheat porridge, barbecue, sweet potato slices, etc. Every kind of food can be made with seasonings. Yes, then I will scramble wild eggs tomorrow. The clear sound of Yu Ying sounded. Yes, it would also be nice to drink some wheat porridge for a refreshing refreshment, Subai said with a smile. Shalan fiddled with her long blue hair and said softly, which, the weapons produced by the weapons workshop have been distributed. What cat-ear girl is talking about is the shield made of the shell of that ferocious beast, but the shields that are temporarily distributed are all the previous totem warriors. For example, the totem warriors who have just awakened this year have not yet been distributed. Subai wants to let them give them more experience before assigning them. The purpose is not to let them rely too much on weapons, but to let them exert their original strength. You can't let the new batch of totem warriors surpass them just because of your own appearance and research. Going backwards. Well, you can get these if you work hard recently, Subai encouraged. He can know that girls want these things very much. You can tell by looking at their eager eyes. Wu, I will definitely work hard, Yanhua said seriously immediately. Niojiao Niang liked that shield very much and wanted to have it the first time she saw it. She thought it was very good to have a shield to block damage during battle. Always. You can't hide every time, otherwise you will get hurt if you can't hide sometimes. If you can have a shield, everything will be more convenient, and you can move forward more courageously. That's good. Subai smiled faintly and continued to ask, how is your training recently? He hasn't heard any girls complain about being tired in recent times. When he came back, they were all eating happily. The recent training has gradually gotten better. Maybe it's because our physical strength has also improved and we don't feel tired anymore. Shalan explained. The cat-eared girl didn't know why, but she later guessed it might be because of the power of the totem. Most likely, the power of the totem was getting stronger and stronger, and she no longer felt tired after doing the previous training. I plan to tell them and ask them to increase their training intensity, otherwise they won't feel tired. Yanhua took a big sip of tea. Niojiao Niang felt that the more tired the better, only when the body and mind feel exhausted, the real training is in place. She has always felt this way. The training these days is not very tiring. Niojiao Niang admits that she didn't practice very well either. As long as it's appropriate, they are here from reserve soldiers, so it's correct to listen to them. Subai comforted. He didn't want to see the girls too tired. After all, they are now equipped with various weapons. As long as they don't regress, they are not required to make much progress. The main thing is to see the girls should be more relaxed and don't have to work hard all the time. Otherwise, the many things they have developed will not be of much use. Just let the girls stop when enough is enough. It's okay, otherwise we wouldn't have anything to do every day. It would be good to train more, Yanhua said with a smile. Subai picked up the teacup and thought about it, then asked, what do you think if I let you train people? Training people? Who does Wu intend to let us train? Shalan asked curiously. Wu, I don't think we are very powerful yet, and we may not be able to train others yet. Yanhua feels a little guilty. She has always thought that she is not strong enough and can be stronger. Now she suddenly wants to train others. She does feel a little guilty. Ha ha ha, Subai smiled heartily and continued, I don't mean for you to train reserve warriors, let alone totem warriors. Does Wu mean that we should train ordinary people? Shalan couldn't believe her ears. Ordinary people's physical strength is very poor, and it may be difficult for us to withstand the intensity of training, Yanhua said worriedly. Subai took a sip of tea and said softly, of course I'm not asking you to train them harshly, but there are other arrangements. Wu, what are you going to do? Shalan sat up straight. I plan to form an army, but I need some soldiers early on, Subai said word by word. Yes, he wanted to set up an army in the primitive era, just like the other side of the earth. Totem warriors and reserve warriors are naturally powerful, but this is very passive, isn't it? For example, if you have participated in the awakening, there were not many awakened warriors during the ceremony, so the tribe fell into a very passive state. All security, large and small, depended on these warriors to maintain it. If anything went wrong with the warriors, the tribe would be finished. The entire Yanlong, there are so many young men in the tribe, why not let them form an army? It doesn't matter how strong their totem power or physical strength is, as long as they can use weapons and obey orders. Anyway, the weapons currently being researched are all it's very simple, and you can learn to use it as long as you study hard. Once the soldiers are trained, they can patrol for the tribe, which can also relieve the pressure of the soldiers. The soldiers only need to concentrate on their own work, such as hunting and training. Train. Soldier? Wu, what are soldiers? Shalan has never heard of this term. Is a witch a type of warrior? Yanhua guessed curiously. Subai raised his thick eyebrows slightly, nodded and said, well, they are a kind of warrior, but soldiers are not as powerful as you. I wonder what the witch wants us to do. Yanhua started to feel interesting. I want you to pick a group of guys with slightly better stamina and start training their stamina every day, Subai said simply. Nowadays, girls can't understand even if they talk too much. People in the primitive era don't know what the system is like on the other side of the earth. Is that all it takes? Yanhua thinks it's a bit too simple. That's enough for the time being. I'll let you know what the plans are later, Subai nodded. Just physical training can eliminate many people, and those who can stay are pretty good. Understood, then we will select them after training tomorrow, Shalan said immediately. Subai put down the teacup and said calmly, remember, the early training should not be too intense. He was worried that he would scare away many people at the beginning, so wouldn't his army plan be shelved at the beginning? Clear. Shalan nodded. Please update for support and customization. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 678. Chapter 678, Some are busy. 2 more requests for customization. Yanhua put down the cup and asked curiously, how are we going to train those people? Niojiao Niang felt that her usual training intensity was very high, and if she didn't control the degree well, it would be easy to get scared. Run those people. In this way, let alone training soldiers, I am afraid that no one is even willing to participate. Yes, it definitely can't be in the same form as before. Shalan is also a little worried. The training intensity of the preparatory warriors and totem warriors is not something ordinary people can bear. Even if the training intensity is reduced by half, it will be difficult for ordinary people, and they can easily get injured if they are not careful. This is not difficult. I can give you a plan, and you just need to train them according to this plan, Subai said lightly. When he mentioned this, the first thing that came to his mind was the training of soldiers on the other side of the earth. But he didn't remember it very clearly or completely. He could still remember some general information. He had also, having participated in military training, the procedures should be similar, he thought. It's much better to have a plan, and we'll just follow your plan. Yanhua breathed a sigh of relief. At first, she was still worried about what she would do if she was too heavy-handed. After becoming a totem warrior, her strength sometimes became lighter and heavier. Maybe it was the power of the totem that had just been awakened. Sometimes, it's easy to injure some cats and dogs if you touch them. It's much better now. It's no longer the same as when I first woke up. Now I can control the force of the big and small better. First design some obstacles and let them climb them, run, etc. Subai thought about it. Wu wanted to improve their physical strength first, right? Shalan guessed. In addition, they also need to coordinate their limbs. Sometimes coordination of limbs is important when performing tasks, Subai said softly. Don't let those people get stronger by then. It would be bad if their limbs are uncoordinated and unable to operate weapons well. You must know that sometimes life and death are matters in an instant. When a war occurs, it is not allowed to. You have to make a mistake. A mistake means the end of life. The reason why he wants to train those people is to be responsible for those people. I see. Shalan said seriously. You can't run on flat roads either, as this won't work. Subai took out his quill. He lowered his head and kept writing on the paper, and his ideas suddenly emerged like a fountain. What does Wu want to do? Take them to the forest and run? Shalan asked curiously. I think it's okay, let them have a good exercise in the forest. Yanhua nodded repeatedly. Ha 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 ha, Subai smiled heartily and said, the forest is not bad, but you can't go too far inside. Yes, dangers can easily arise, especially ferocious beasts and wild beasts, and we have to be careful to protect them. Shalan agreed. Then run outside the forest, it's safer. Yanhua blinked her red eyes. Subai nodded lightly and explained, there are many stones, bushes, and fallen trees in the forest, which increases the difficulty of running, and the training results will be better. I remember. Shalan nodded. In addition, there are several training items, such as crawling in the mud, or climbing over obstacles and weight-bearing exercises, etc., Subai continued. In fact, there are a lot of things to pay attention to in recruit training, but he didn't make it very clear. On Earth, there are 4 main types of recruit training: formation, enemy capture, tactics, and physical fitness. There are several types of queues, including individual soldier queues, squad queues, and 3 squads and 4 sentries. Catching the enemy is also divided into several types, including postures and steps, boxing techniques, leg techniques, anti-hit techniques, and catching the enemy fist. As for tactics, the main training is individual soldier tactics, including lying down and movement postures. This is even more complicated. Lying down also includes lying down with a gun and lying down with a gun. There are many kinds of exercise postures, such as low posture, high posture, sideways posture, high posture, sideways posture, and rolling. There are also 2 types of rolling, including rolling while stopping and rolling while traveling. The physical fitness is more complicated and very diverse, including 5 kilometers of cross-country, 100-meter sprint, frog jump, push-ups, single leg extension, combined physical exercises, etc. This is a very long job. Recruit training usually takes more than 2 months. If you can persist for more than 2 months, it is considered a success. In addition, there are many different things to do, many and detailed. In short, it is not an easy task. There are actually so many. It seems we are quite busy. Shalan was shocked. So much good, let those people give it a try. Yanhua was particularly excited. She felt that she could try out so many projects. The problem was that those people would not be idle when training. You are very satisfied every time you say this. Subai shook his head with a smile. Yanhua fiddled with his long black hair and said with a smile, these sound very interesting. Nonetheless, you should also be careful not to overdo it, take it slow at first, and then increase the training intensity when their physical fitness improves. Subai warned. People who have never trained will not be able to bear high-intensity training all at once. They may not be able to move at the end of one day and the next day. Which, we know how to do it. Yanhua said expectantly. Alan, I'm not worried, I'm more worried about you. Subai said jokingly. He knew that Nyojiao Niang loved adventurous things and some novel things. This made her know these processes, so why not have fun? Yanhua instantly became convinced and said righteously, Wu, I will definitely listen to you. Wu, what are the conditions for recruiting people? Shalan asked. The cat-eared girl wanted to find out the selection criteria for soldiers to see if they were similar to those of reserve soldiers. It should be lower than the threshold for reserve warriors. If it is too strict, no one will pass. Subai said. He felt that they were just selecting soldiers for training. If they were selected according to the standards of preparatory soldiers, I'm afraid no one would be able to pass. I understand, there must be many qualified people in that tribe. Shalan immediately thought of those who have not awakened as preparatory warriors. They are suitable to be preparatory warriors in terms of physical fitness and qualifications. Unfortunately, they did not awaken successfully in this year's awakening ceremony. Anyone who participated in the awakening ceremony can be recruited. Subai also understood what the cat-eared lady was thinking. Yes. Shalan responded immediately. Have a good rest tonight, you will be very busy tomorrow. Subai said gently. Clear. Yanhua and the two said happily. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 679. The cold night spread across the land, and the entire Yanlong tribe was shrouded in this cold night. Goo 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 goo. Chirp wow wow. The screams of wild beasts in the surrounding forests also continued to sound, but this did not destroy the tranquility of the night at all. Wow. The big river not far from the tribe was also flowing rapidly, and it did not stop the rapid flow of courage because of the arrival of night. All the people in the giant bear tribe finished eating the barbecue and walked out of the barbecue restaurant leisurely. It is really delicious. I have never eaten such delicious barbecue. Luo touched his belly with satisfaction. The little fat man ate a lot of barbecue, and every bite was filled with oil and juice. His eating appearance made others very appetizing. After all, he was chewing big mouthfuls. Moving. I put some in the bowl, grabbed some in my hands, and ate in my mouth, as if I was afraid that someone would take it away. I didn't expect that the Yanlong tribe had such delicious food. Kai praised again and again. Although he had eaten in the Yanlong tribe before, this was the first time that it tasted so delicious. It's different from what we had last time, but it's much more delicious than what we had last time. Li was a little unsatisfied. She originally wanted to pay attention to her image and eat slowly, but after taking the first bite, she couldn't care less. It's so delicious. Let's eat before leaving tomorrow, shall we? Lan originally complained a little. She queued for a long time at the door and originally didn't want to eat. After entering, she was impressed by the smell of the barbecue restaurant. No, she was already impressed while she was still queuing. We'll talk about tomorrow's matters tomorrow, First find a place to stay. Zhang Dang walked in the front first. He said it so seriously, but he still wanted to have another meal in his heart. He was completely impressed when eating barbecue. But for his own image, and other people, the appearance in front of the totem warrior also suppressed his shock. I heard that Enyi building is specially prepared for people like us, Kai suddenly said. They heard others discussing while they were eating, and the discussion was also about the situation of Enyi building. Those people all love to chat, and they will talk about everything on the table. Of course, also it's just the news that they know. They still don't know most of the things. It seems that the Yanlong tribe is really rich, and they actually built such a house for us to live in. Luo has not yet recovered from the shock. You must know that no tribe is willing to do such a thing. They almost always come and leave on the same day. Even if it is later, those tribes will not care. You can either go outside the forest, find a place to rest, or go to other tribes and see if others are willing to take them in. Just don't stay in your own tribe. It's unheard of for the Yanlong tribe to build a house specially for foreign tribes to live in. The point is that this house is still a stone house, which is even more incredible. None of those people have ever lived in a stone house, but they also know that stone houses are definitely better than wooden houses. This is why everyone is shocked, and only then started to lament the difference between the Yanlong tribe. Tap tap tap. Everyone came to Enyi building in a shocked mood, and everyone looked up at the house. The first thing I saw was the plaque, but I didn't recognize the words on it. The second is the height of this house. Except for the tallest 4-story stone house in the Yanlong tribe, this one is the tallest. Are we going to stay here tonight? Lan raised her head in surprise. The look on her face was full of shock. It looks like I will have a good sleep tonight. The corner of his mouth turned upward and he said, being able to sleep in a stone house is definitely better than sleeping in the wild. Let alone a stone house, if there is a tent for them to live in now, they would be willing to do so. Come and have a look. I don't know what it's like inside. Luo couldn't wait. He saw these stone houses when he came last time, but he didn't go in to see them. At that time, everyone wanted to go in and have a look, but they didn't have the chance. Now that they have the chance, they can't. Go and have a look. Tap tap tap. Frame also suppressed his excitement and stepped forward, wanting to know what it was like inside. After everyone walked in, they found that there were many people inside, and all of them were eating on the first floor. A girl wearing an animal skin skirt came over and asked softly, "Are you coming to eat or stay?" This girl is the receptionist on the first floor. She is mainly responsible for people entering the Enyi building to see if they have any what needs are there to provide guidance. We just finished eating and now we need to find a place to stay. Zhang opened his mouth and said. He didn't know what the word accommodation meant, he just wanted to express his needs. If you are looking for a place to stay, go to the second floor. We have food on the first floor. The girl pointed to the stairs next to her. Second floor, the box heard another unfamiliar word. The second floor is what our Yanlong tribe calls it, that is, if you go up next to it, the upper floor is called the second floor, the girl patiently explained. I see. Zhang nodded in understanding and led everyone towards the stairs. Tap tap tap. Everyone in the giant bear tribe was surprised when they were walking up the stairs. They didn't expect that there was such a thing. This thing is so amazing, it can actually help us walk up slowly, Lan exclaimed. To climb to a higher place in the giant bear tribe, you definitely need to climb over the walls. It's not as simple as it is now. They are also eating down there, so you can come over and eat tomorrow. Luo just listened to these words. A few minutes later, they arrived at the second floor, and were guided to the front desk by the receptionist on the second floor to register. If you want to stay, you must register in advance. Which tribe are you from? The girl at the front desk asked. We are from the giant bear tribe, and all these people behind us have to live here. Box heard that strange word again. Okay, I will open a few rooms for you. The girl at the front desk nodded. No, there are not so many rooms. How much dried meat do you need to charge for one room? Box wants to figure this out. Don't wait until you receive a lot of jerky, then it's not cost effective to have one room per person. If you stay for one night, you will need a bag of dried meat, the girl at the front desk said. Fang nodded thoughtfully, thinking this is still acceptable. Living in a stone house actually confiscated a lot of dried meat. Please update for support and customization. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 680. Is it really just that much? Zhang didn't believe it. He thought at first he wanted a lot of dried meat. After all, it's a stone house and there's nothing like it in other places. Isn't this alone enough to extort a lot from others? I didn't expect that the Yanlong tribe only accepted a bag of meat, do it? This is the reason why I am really confused. It always feels unrealistic. It's just a bag of dried meat and a room for one night, the girl at the front desk said seriously. This bargaining chip was also set by Subai. One dried meat per room is really not too much. But there are many people living there. There will be so many people coming and going in the future, and there will be many people living there. Naturally, you will get more dried meat. Not to mention it is just the beginning. It is not good to set the stakes too high all at once, otherwise they will not be willing to live there. There may even be several people crowded into one room, which is equivalent to one bag of dried meat in one room. There is no difference. Now that they are given less chips, those people will be very happy and will enthusiastically promote the Yanlong tribe one day after leaving the Yanlong tribe. In this way, they can be regarded as advertising to the Yanlong tribe. Instead of building momentum one by one, it would be better for these people to help and get twice the result with half the effort. I understand, then instead of having one room per person, just give us 10 rooms, Zhang said. He didn't want to give out too much dried meat at once. Anyway, they are all warriors who are used to staying in the wild. It's okay for 2 people to squeeze into a room, but it can't be too luxurious all at once. A room for one person is a bit too much. Understood, I will make arrangements for you, the girl at the front desk said softly, recording it on the Painazetum paper. After a few minutes, she raised her head and handed the signs to everyone. The numbers were written on the signs. They were 1-10, and the numbers were Chinese characters. Even the people in the giant bear tribe cannot understand this Chinese character. What's this? Kai said doubtfully. This is the house number of your room. There are also these at the door of the room. Just find the room with the corresponding number and go in, the girl at the front desk explained. So that's it, Kai nodded thoughtfully. Let me take you up. It's your first time here too, the girl at the front desk said gently. Tap tap tap. The girl at the front desk led the people from the giant bear tribe and started walking inside. Rooms 1-10 were all on the second floor. She brought everyone into the room one by one and gave them some instructions. That means don't make too much noise, don't disturb other people's rest, and don't destroy things in the house at will. If any of the rules are violated, the dried meat will be deducted. They packed 10 bags of dried meat at the front desk. That is to say, these 10 bags of dried meat can only be taken away when checking out, but only if they do not violate the rules. Kai and others returned to their respective rooms, and everyone glanced at the environment of the room in surprise. This is a stone house, Luo's eyes widened in surprise. He didn't know how to blink after reading it, and just looked at the surrounding environment. The furnishings of the whole room were very simple, with only one bed and a simple set of tables and chairs. In addition, there are some decorations of animal teeth and bones, and some animal skins are hung on the wall. There is nothing else, and the overall feeling is empty and simple. I didn't expect it to be like this inside. Although the room is not big, it looks really nice, Kai exclaimed. He and the little fat man lived in the same room. As soon as they came in, they kept wandering around the room. Yeah, it looks better than the cabin, Lugo agreed and nodded repeatedly. I thought it was a haystack. Kai sat on the bed and felt it, and continued, I just don't know what this is. It's so comfortable. Lugo also lay down on it and said enjoyingly, it is indeed very comfortable. I like this feeling. A bag of dried meat a night is really worth it, and you can stay for a few more nights. Kai smiled and said. It would be great if I could have a room for myself. I could sleep in it for a long time. Lugo buried his head in the pillow. The pillow is made of animal skin, the quilt is a thin animal skin, and the bed sheet is also an animal skin. You might think, now you should save some dried meat and exchange it for other things, Kai warned. I know, just saying that, I'm still waiting to eat something delicious tomorrow. Lugo felt like his saliva was about to flow out. Not to mention, the food here is really delicious, and I don't know how it is made, Kai sighed. He could already feel his throat secreting saliva, and he started to miss it as soon as he was full. Who knows, but it just tastes good. Lugo waved his hand. If only we knew how. Kai suddenly thought. Lugo Meng stood up and said mysteriously, we can actually change it? It's not a loss. Just think, they won't agree to trade with us. Kai rolled his eyes. How is it impossible? We can give out a lot of dried meat. If you don't believe it, they won't be tempted, Lugo Xin said solemnly. You have also seen how popular the Yanlong tribe's market is today, and what they are most in need of is dried meat. Kai waved his hand and continued, they all have so much dried meat, do you think they will still be interested in our dried meat? He is still relatively rational and knows the pros and cons of analyzing things. These things are impossible without even thinking about them. The barbecue restaurant is unique to the Yanlong tribe, and they will definitely have this uniqueness firmly in their hands. How is it possible? Would he casually give the secret to other tribes? What you said seems to make sense, but those dried meats are really delicious, Lugo sighed. He still misses those barbecues, and thinks it would be great if he could open one in the tribe. If he wanted to open one in the giant bear tribe, he would definitely eat there every day, and he would never come to Yan again. The dragon tribe is here. Not only their barbecue, but their wine and perfume are also top-notch. How could they develop such good things? Kai is still immersed in the shock. I can still remember visiting the Yanlong tribe market during the day, as if I am in it right now. Yes, if you take it back to the chiefs and witches, they will definitely be shocked. They will definitely like this kind of thing. Lugo said without hesitation. It's just a pain for us, and we can't have it, Kai sighed. Just like the porcelain last time, because he wanted to have it but couldn't, even if he was the chief's son. We can only rely on ourselves to save the dried meat and replace it next time we come, Lugo comforted. He doesn't care about so much, as long as he has something to eat, although he also wants those things. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 681. System, sign in and open the assistance package. The first thing Subai does when he opens his eyes every day is ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully signing in. Ding. Congratulations to the host for receiving primary aid, a packet of cucumber seeds. Subai weighed the cucumber seeds and said with satisfaction, finally, we have a crop. A lot of aid packages were opened some time ago, but every time they were some daily necessities. There were no vegetables or fruits. This cucumber was still very good. Subai got up and simply changed clothes and walked out. The room was ready for breakfast. After washing up, he asked where are Ahua and the others. No breakfast today. Woo, they got up early today, ate something simple and then went to work, Ying explained. Oh? Do you know what they were busy with? Subai asked curiously. They said they had to complete the tasks assigned by the witch, and since they had to train today, they probably didn't have time, so they got up so early, Yu Ying explained. So that's it, I'm really anxious, Subai smiled. There was really nothing he could do to them. Wu, hurry up and eat. I just cooked it, Yu Ying said softly. Subai nodded and asked while eating, is there any news from Keek? It's been several days. There is no news yet, but it will only be in the past 2 days, Yu Ying raised her head and said. Nu, Subai said softly. After more than half an hour, the two simply finished their breakfast and went about their own business. Subai sat in his seat and continued to study the witch dominoes, thinking about how to speed up the development of the tribe. The key is to research the domestication of witch dominoes. Not only that, once the research is successful, the next thing will be much easier. For example, plant growth technology can also be made into witch dominoes, which is of great benefit to the tribe's agriculture. It helps. You don't have to go to the farmland to perform the plant growth technique yourself every day. You can just let others do it for you. Because the number of times the plant growth technique can be used is limited, it can only be used a few times a day. It would be a pity not to use it. That's why I go to the farmland every day, so as not to waste this time. I always want to see the development of crops as soon as possible. By the way, there is also this packet of cucumber seeds. Subai put the cucumber seeds on the table. He immediately used the plant growth technique on the cucumber seeds and called the fox-eared lady next to him. Wu, what's wrong? Want something to drink or something to eat? Yu Ying came over immediately. No, these are cucumber seeds, take them and let others plant them. Subai handed over the seeds that had been used for plant growth. Yu Ying took the bag of seeds and began to look at them, wondering what kind of vegetable is this? This is the first time Fox-ear Girl has heard such a strange word, but she knew it was a crop when she heard it was planted. A kind of melon, it is very good to eat raw or used in cooking, Subai explained simply. There are a lot of foods made from cucumbers on the other side of the earth, such as cucumbers, fried cucumbers, or some sun-dried cucumber slices. In short, the taste is very sweet. Yes, it tastes clear and crispy. It is a good crop. It is also a crop that travelers want to get. It is easy to grow and eat. Doesn't it sound like a tomato? Yu Ying looked at the seeds in surprise. You must know that tomatoes were very popular when they were planted. Everyone who has eaten them praised them again and again. Of course, there are only so many people who can eat them now. Chief, big boss, there are also some totem warriors and reserve warriors. It's almost the same, but the texture is different from tomatoes. This one is sweeter and crunchier, Subai explained. Tomatoes taste softer, not as crisp as cucumbers, and taste more sour. I don't know what it looks like. Yu Ying's pink eyes kept looking at those seeds. It's a green-yellow melon. You'll know it when it grows, Subai said with a smile. Anyway, the explanation is not very clear now. As long as it grows out, you will know everything. Wu, what should I pay attention to when growing this cucumber? Yu Ying shook her pink foxtail. Just plant it as normal and I will teach you how to do it when it sprouts, Subai explained. Originally, to grow cucumbers, you need to boil the seeds and germinate them. After the germination is successful, you can sow them again. This can greatly improve the survival rate of planting. However, these cucumber seeds have been used with the plant growth technique, the survival rate has been increased to an extremely high level. These troublesome steps are naturally omitted, and the subsequent work of building a scaffolding will be done after germination. Yes, Yu Ying nodded. Tap tap tap. Knock knock knock. Shifeng walked from outside to the second floor of Yong'an building. After knocking on the door, he got permission and walked in. He immediately came to the witch and reported, we have returned from the Haiu tribe. Well, how's the situation over there? Subai asked. Everything is fine, because the totem warriors and reserve warriors of the sea insect tribe have been eliminated, as have the witches and chiefs. Shifeng calmed down his breathing and continued, the remaining people didn't dare to do anything when they saw our totem warriors, not to mention that place originally belonged to the sea fish tribe. As long as they are fine, how about management? Are those people obedient? Subai continued to ask. I specifically asked about this, and those people were quite well behaved. As long as they had something to eat, nothing was a problem, reported by Shifeng Hui. It seems that that group of people is not as difficult to manage as I thought. Let the soldiers stay there, and let Kyangu manage the sea fish tribe well. Su Bai paused and continued, let them hold on for a while. Someone will take over after a while and bring some dried meat. He also knows that the soldiers in the Haiu tribe must miss the Yanlong tribe. This is why they had people train soldiers yesterday. It would be good to have more soldiers, so that they can be sent out to manage more tribes in the future. I see, Shufeng responded. By the way, how is the bird I asked you to take over? Subai asked. I have already told Chief Kyrgu, and he said that he will arrange a test flight in the next 2 days, and maybe he will be back in the next 2 days. Shifeng explained. Subai nodded, picked up the teacup and said, when the bird comes back, you can go to the sea fish tribe to convey the news just now. Yes, which Shifeng nodded. Go down and rest, Subai said lightly. Please update for support and customization.